Fight!
Good morning, afternoon, and evening, everyone. My name's Nick, and welcome to, or welcome back to the channel. A few hours ago, the Mortal Kombat 1 beta has officially closed, and I just wanted to give a little bit of my impressions, my thoughts, and just mainly my gameplay impressions and just what I thought of the game overall. So this video is going to be a little bit unscripted. This is just mainly like me going through bullet points, things that I really liked about the game, and things that I kind of want to see improved over time before the game launches in this upcoming September 19th. Now in the background you see here, I will be having some gameplay in the back. Now unfortunately, this is all gameplay of me just learning how to play the game, so don't expect to see any crazy like Evo combo breaker or like top tier Sonic Fox combos over here. I'm literally just learning how to play the game, and sadly when I finally got an understanding of the game, all of the footage I had did get corrupted, so unfortunately that is completely lost and it's sadly lost media. But I just wanted to give you a heads up, and I just wanted to provide my impressions because I do have several hours of experience that I do want to provide and share with you. And also, if you are brand new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe, as it really means a ton and it helps this channel grow. So with that, let's get right into it. Now the first thing I really want to talk about is the visuals of the game, because if you're going to be watching this video and getting an idea of how the game looks, that's definitely a big crucial thing I want to talk about here. Now, unfortunately, because of my capture card issue, it wasn't able to render or capture the footage in 4K resolution. It instead was able to capture to the highest, which was 1080p HDR at 60 frames per second. So I want to get that out of the way. This is not the game not looking up to snuff according to marketing. This is just my capture card's end, so I just want to apologize there. But I can confidently say when I had 4K settings turned on with a really nice gaming TV and monitor, this game looks gorgeous. For real, like the lighting on a lot of the stages, the like reflections that you see on characters, even the attention to detail. Like if you look at the clashes and if you see like Sub-Zero going up against like Johnny Cage, you can see their face stretch and the pores move around. The other cool thing is like you can even see like shave lines on the characters and like hair, lighting, and even each individual follicle move. It is like so insane like how highly detailed this is, and it doesn't just come down to like the character models either. Like you can look in the backgrounds and you can see like a lot of great lighting reflections, specifically looking at like Johnny Cage's stage with how well all the stages just are balanced when it comes to the light, and the textures just look amazing. And then when you go to the tea house as well, how well the wood looks, it looks so real, even like the god rays in the back with the light. And even just seeing like the people in the back, they don't look like PS2 model, PS3 models anymore. They actually look like actually they put a lot of time and effort into the models in the background. It's also really fun to see like the interaction, like the Roomba in Johnny Cage's stage, and even like the furniture and like the seats in the tea house, like those are extremely textured super well. And it's also really fun that like they don't just break apart like they would in old NRS games where they just break into tiny bits and then shrink. Like they actually break apart depending on like what you hit and how it was hit. It changes, and this is like a huge leap, especially if you've been playing Mortal Kombat games since the NRS era back in 2011. So this is definitely a huge thing, and probably the biggest jump when it comes to visuals in general. It's absolutely amazing. And back on the lighting, not just on stages, but even special moves, like seeing like the light up of super move animations, and even looking at stuff like Li Mei's special moves like her projectiles, Liu Kang's projectiles, and even his kicks. All the lighting looks absolutely just wonderful. Like it's not too bright where it's gonna like drown out everything else, but it looks so good too. Like it's just like, this is truly like the next gen experience when it comes to like how well graphics look. And it's like a huge step up from like the visual quality of Mortal Kombat 11, which Mortal Kombat 11, for being a late 8th generation console title, looked amazing. And just the fact that it's like a huge step above that is honestly insane. Like it also makes me feel bad that like when you perform fatalities on these characters, it's like, this looks like a real person and I think I just killed somebody. But no, honestly, this game looks, on a visual standpoint, looks absolutely amazing. Now next I want to talk about the 6 playable characters and the 4 cameos we got to play as. which the playable characters were Kenshi, Li Mei, Liu Kang, Kitana, Johnny Cage, and Sub-Zero. As you all probably guessed, the one I spent the most time with was honestly Sub-Zero, and then up next I would say was Johnny Cage, and after spending a lot of time playing with each one of the characters, the base roster, I can say that Johnny Cage is probably going to be like top tier is my prediction. And I'd say Liu Kang was more of a tricky one. Li Mei was also one of the ones that I feel is going to be top tier. But I would say if you're just jumping into this game and if you want to like learn anyone, like a jack of all trades, Sub-Zero is your go-to. And that's probably the one I spent the most time with because if you know me too well, I am very much a Sub-Zero main, and Sub-Zero is one of my favorite Mortal Kombat characters. So once I saw he was announced for the beta, I was like, yep, I am spending all my time on him right there. And when it came to the cameo roster, you had Kano, you had Jax, Sonya Blade, and then Frost. So 3 of these characters have been showcased since the Summer Games Fest back in June of this year. So I was surprised to see that we got the 3 from the main, like the first showcase we got, and then Frost from a very recent one. I do think that this was a good choice of characters overall, both the base roster too. They had a good way of kind of showing like and diversifying the gameplay as a whole. You were able to have some crazy setups with like 6 characters, and then you have 4 cameos. It really changes just how you can approach and change the gameplay. Like, and I brought this up on Twitter, and I even brought this up with Uncommon Oddity on Twitter. And the crazy thing is that with MK11, it really felt like we understood the hook of the game quickly, and we found out that there wasn't a whole lot to it. It was very much simple combat, very short combo strings, and I guess the fun novelty of like adjusting and changing your special moves and making your own variations. However, when it comes to this game, the giant hook and gimmick of the game is probably what's going to make people come back to it and give it a really long lifespan when it comes to like future content and even time in like competitive play like Evo and Combo Breaker. These cameos and the base roster setup are what are going to make this game really stand out for a long time. Like, you can have like a base character like Sub-Zero, and then I mainly use Sonya as my cameo, but going online I faced a few people who did like Sub-Zero and Frost, and then I faced like a Li Mei and Sonya, then a Li Mei and Kano, and unlike previous Mortal Kombat games where you kind of get an idea of how everyone's going to play just based off the variation or just who they chose, this game is really going to test you based on who they choose, because the cameo really changes like combo potential, other just things you got to look out for, like Frost's ground freeze, then you have Sonya's air counter, so it really changes like full screen opportunities, and then you even have like Kano with his hover cannonball move where it can really delay that, so it makes it just, if you like go for a special move, it can really just screw you up and just counter you in any way possible. Along with that, I would say the diversity of characters we got was a good fit. You got to play as Johnny Cage, Sub-Zero, who I had mentioned earlier, who were probably my favorite picks, and then you got to play as like even some more diverse characters that I wasn't expecting to see, like Li Mei, who was a very recent introduction, and then Kitana, who was from the beginning, the first reveal trailer, and then you even had Kenshi from the first trailer as well. It was just really nice that we got all of these characters in here, and each one of them play extremely different. It honestly just makes me super excited with the game launching with 24 characters and the cameo roster launching with 12. Just the crazy and endless possibilities of combos, setups, and just teams, and how crazy people can come up with all these unique combos, some unique gameplay, which is really just going to make this game just stand out, especially with the big 3 of the fighters right now, with Tekken 8, Street Fighter 6, and then Mortal Kombat 1. I think this hook is definitely, I was a little skeptical when they were announcing a assist-based system, because I've been waiting for Tag to come back along with 2 of my good friends, Brock and Kyle, who have been screaming to the high heavens for Tag Team to come back, but I can say that this is definitely the next best thing we could have gotten, and honestly I think I prefer the cameo or the assist-based system over a tag system, honestly. I think this is just probably one of the best ways to innovate the Mortal Kombat fighting engine. And now let's talk online, because that is definitely another big thing. If you're going to be spending a lot of time playing this game, you're going to be spending a lot of time online. So let's talk a lot about that, because I have played probably an hour straight of just matches, and I've had a lot of great experiences with it. I've played matches with people who have either went LAN, or people who use Ethernet ports, and then people who played Wi-Fi. And honestly, from my experience, a lot of the matches were great. I can say that the netcode is absolutely wonderful, similar to Mortal Kombat 11. It just ran perfectly smooth. It honestly felt like I was just playing with someone in the same room as me. However, I did run into one issue that I do feel is going to be addressed, and actually the Mortal Kombat team did address that crashes do happen, and it's a beta problem. I did have one crash playing online when I went back to the main menu, but besides that, I have nothing but positive things to say about my online experience with the beta. I honestly just cannot wait to play this game online when the game fully launches. Now, as much as I am praising this beta, I don't think it was all perfect. There have been a few things that have been posted all over Twitter lately with like some technical issues, mainly coming in from like cameo breakers or even like certain grabs where they'll be on like a different plane. I didn't experience anything like that, but I'm not saying that they haven't been happening. So I guarantee that that's going to be a bug fix that'll be fixed later down the line and patched out. Other than that, the only other issue I ran into was referring to a cameo attack happening on a Fatal Blow startup, and it actually made the screen dim a little bit, so the entire rest of the screen had that weird dim effect, and when it's supposed to be lighting up the character for that startup animation, however that light for the startup animation wasn't there, so the entire screen had that visual dark to it. Like, I'm not saying the screen was black, it just had a very, like, it was almost like there were no stage lights on but the backlights were on. It felt a little weird, and it didn't bother my experience where it wasn't like I can't tell what's going on, but it was just a weird technical issue that I do want the NRS team to be aware about, because I haven't really seen anyone else bring up this issue at all. So I think I hope that's just something that does get addressed later down the line. And overall, my only other critique I can say outside of just online and those bugs, I honestly do wish we had a different variety of stages. Sure, it was nice to see the tea house and Johnny Cage's mansion, the pool there, with a day and night cycle to it. We've seen those stages so often, and I feel like that it's just like, okay, I kind of want to get a little bit of a variation mixed in there. Maybe like a third stage that we haven't seen too often. Maybe like that one Shang Tsung Island Ruins looking stage from the first gameplay trailer, or even the top of like the Lin Kuei Temple that we've seen in the Lin Kuei trailer, just to kind of mix it up a bit, because when you're playing the ladder, it felt like I was just at the same stage over and over again, and it was like, sure, it looks nice even in day and night. There are so many things to look at, and they put so much detail into it. It was just like, just seeing one more would have broken it up a little bit, just seeing like another stage in there somewhere, and I think that would have been a little bit nicer. I know I'm sounding a little bit nitpicky. It's just after playing this for a while, those are like the only stages you saw, and just with all the trailers we've seen lately with many of the other stages, it just would have been nice to finally dive into another stage. Like the Living Forest, that would have been a perfect stage to include in something like this, especially showing off the technical and visual style of the game and how crazy it looks overall. But overall, to give my final conclusion, just my verdict here, I want to say that Mortal Kombat 1 is definitely the game I was looking forward to. It is definitely delivering on all fronts, and anything that I was concerned about, like the cameo system and how it would be implemented, that feeling of some skepticism is completely gone now. I can honestly say that this is going to be one of my favorite Mortal Kombat games, and I can honestly say it's my contender for Fighter of the Year. I think this game is honestly wonderful, and it's making me extremely excited to check this game out once it launches September 19th. So if you haven't pre-ordered it yet, or if you are on the fence of wanting to get Mortal Kombat 11 or unsure if you want to get it, or if you just don't play these games and you think this is going to be a fun place to start, this is definitely going to be one of those games that's perfect if you are into competitive fighting games, and if you're someone that's trying to get into Mortal Kombat as a whole, this is definitely a great title to start with. I do think that on top of it just being like a new narrative and then just whole completely new gameplay feel to it, this is going to be fun for anybody. It's easy to pick up, and it's also one of those hard to master type of games. September 19th, please come faster. I seriously cannot wait. And there you have my impressions of the pre-order beta for Mortal Kombat 1. If you've played the beta, tell me what you thought down below. I'd love to have a fun discussion of what we liked most and what we want to see improved once the game finally comes out. If you also want to share your main and cameo go-tos, put that down below too, because I think that'll be a fun thing to kind of discuss, and especially just share like fun little combo strings and fun little ideas and experiences you've had with the beta. In case you haven't heard or seen on the community tab, I am planning on doing a lot of Mortal Kombat 1 content down the line. I'm currently working on scripts for all Mortal Kombat 1 Fatal Blows ranked, along with the base roster of finishers ranked and the cameo roster finishers ranked as well. And one big thing I am working on for this channel is I want to do a Mortal Kombat 1 review on the channel, just provide my insight and what I thought about the game, story, gameplay, cameos, literally the entire whole package. If that's something you want to see, please let me know down below. Along with that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We recently reached 30,000 subscribers, and not gonna lie, every time we reach a milestone, it just blows me away. Seriously, your continuous support means so much to me, and it literally brightens my day when I'm feeling down. Now, I am also extremely sorry I've been holding off on my 25,000 subscriber punishment. I will be getting that ready for you pretty soon. Don't worry, I'm a man of my word. I am getting an Amazon shipment in, so I can do that fairly soon. So if you want to see more fun content like this down the line, don't forget to subscribe and share this video with your friends, as your support means a ton. Also, don't forget that the next ranking coming to the channel is all Mortal Kombat 11 Friendships ranked. This is definitely one I have been really looking forward to covering on the channel for quite a long time, so I hope the wait's worth it. I'm also really sorry that it's been taking a while to get some content out lately. Just moving in and just getting everything adjusted for this new place has been taking a lot of my time. I've just been super busy, and don't think that I'm quitting on the channel. I love making content for you all. It's just such a passion of mine, and you are what makes this so fun to do. I'll also be sure to share a content calendar I have planned for the future as well too, full of more Mortal content such as rankings and other discussions, and a lot covering Mortal Kombat 1. Again, thank you so much for your continuous support. My name is Nick, and remember to have a smooth day. Fight!